HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
And by Webster First Federal Credit Union, providing financial products with attentive customer service to the local families and businesses of Hopkinton. Visit us at websterfirst.com. Welcome to this edition of HCAM News. Tom Nappy at the anchor desk to fill you in with the latest happenings in Hopkinton. On this edition of HCAM News, Middlesex Savings Bank recognized those involved with the Hopkinton Public Library expansion and renovation project. We have the latest on Hillers Sports, and Water and Sewer Manager Eric Carty updated us on the water tank situation. But first, here's some happenings in town you should know about. A public forum was held to discuss the downtown corridor project.
It's been made very clear to us that in pursuing this project, we have to account for how we minimize impacts on environmental, cultural, business, residents, and historic resources.
John Bouchard of VHB, the company employed by the town, explained the proposal for the downtown project.
Talk a little bit about our major intersections, Wood Street, Cedar Grove, and then Hayden Row Street at Marathon. So right now, Wood Street has kind of one lane approach in each direction on Main Street. And the stop bar is set way back because of the traffic gets congested, you can't make your maneuvers there. So one lane approach. It has about, on average, about 5 accidents per year based on the study that was done from 2009 to 2013. We're proposing to add a left turn lane from Main Street to Wood Street, a pedestrian crosswalk across Wood Street. Bike lanes will be introduced on both the east and westbound side, and that's also where we begin the two-way bike lane. Right now, there's one lane that is going straight on Main Street, and people queue up to make a left turn, and they impede the flow of traffic. So what we've done is we've done some widening along the westbound, or the eastbound side, excuse me, to be able to get a left turn lane by itself here and a through lane to be able to go straight across. And on the opposite side, heading westbound, the approach that's there now has 2 lanes, a right turn that turns onto Wood Street or continues on 135. But we've introduced the bike lane between the 2 lanes. So we'll have a through lane heading westbound, we'll have the right turn that's going on to Wood Street, and then there's the bike lane that's introduced here. And as I mentioned in the prior slide, we called out where the two-way separated bike lane begins, as it begins right at this crosswalk right across from Wood Street.
He also mentioned that the 10.6 accidents per year on average at the Main Street at Cedar Grove Street intersection is higher than the recommended total from MassDOT.
Because of the signal, or because Grove and Cedar Street are offset so much, we can't run the traffic signal at the same time on the north and the southbound side, because the traffic we'd cross and we'd have accidents. We're proposing the sidewalk will come along and we'll have the crosswalk back here. We have the integrated bike through the signal will be more in the shoulder area. This is where the separated bike lane ends on the opposite side, and then it continues, or the two-way separated ends continues on the other side. So again, a clearly defined pedestrian crossing, improved bike accommodations, grade separated bike lane between the sidewalk, the curbing, and the street, and then enhanced with overhead electrical wires that have been, photoshopped out of the picture. Just a couple of 100 feet up, so here's the Grove Street right in here. Here's CVS, so we're looking now eastbound towards Grove Street, the way it looks, I say today, but a little while ago. The integrated bike lane here, the separation from the roadway, separated zone from the pedestrians, and how we can, again, make that safer, separate those two movements. Bird's eye view, or what the landscape architects call the bird's eye view. By moving that over, We're gonna line up Grove Street, so you'll be able to go straight across, make these left turns onto Main Street, keep the CVS fully operational with the bank ATM on that location, providing the connection, and then here's the enhanced parking places. Not everyone can probably see those, can probably stand in the way, but we've added those parking spaces in for Grove Street. You know, new grass, sod, and then whatever landscape and streetscape elements we're able to incorporate there, carrying the sidewalk through. You know, we remove the road and expand the park and the common area. The separated bike and pedestrian crossings are here.
The estimated total cost of the project will be $8 million, but there will still be many more meetings to go before approval. The estimated date of the MassDOT public hearing is November 27th. Many residents and downtown business owners took the opportunity to ask questions about the proposal. You can view the full Downtown Corridor Public Forum on the HCAM YouTube page, youtube.com/HCAMTV. Middlesex Savings Bank hosted a ceremony to recognize the many involved with the Hopkinton Library expansion and renovation project. Here is a look at the ceremony. On October 4th, 2017, the Hopkinton Chamber of Commerce and Middlesex Savings Bank held a ceremony to recognize the many contributors to the Hopkinton Library renovation and expansion project.
Thank you so much for coming, and we have such a nice assembled crowd here tonight. I did want to say a couple of special shout outs to Waterfresh Farm, who's done a wonderful job with catering. I think they've just set the bar so high over there with how it looks to have something nicely catered. And then we have Rachel Werrick from Marty's Wines, so thank you very much for both of them. I hope you'll have a nice evening here tonight. We did want to have everybody here just to recognize some special people in town. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to John Auger, who is the Executive Vice President for Middlesex Savings Bank.
Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. As Marion said, we did want to recognize some of the individuals, the groups that helped make the renovation/expansion of the library such a great success. We at the bank love being a part of this community. We really enjoy it, and even more so now that we have this beautiful building framed perfectly inside of our doors right here as we look across the street. It truly is magnificent. It really is.
I'm wearing the Hopkinton Chamber of Commerce hat right now. So what I wanted to do was acknowledge the bank and your staff, John, your facilities people, Marion, and all the people that work here. And again, the people that made this renovation possible, because the last renovation wasn't too bad, but this certainly is an exciting and much improved space. So basically, recognition award presented to Middlesex Savings Bank. Congratulations on your recent renovations to your Hopkinton branch. It's very well done and truly reflects your ongoing commitment to the Hopkinton community.
Thank you.
For a number of years, we had the distinction of having pretty much the smallest library in the Commonwealth, which doesn't really get you much. And again, the staff, if there's any library staff here, I don't think there is, but how they manage to make things work, yes, the senior staff. Again, kudos to them and to your staff that made the library work for so many years in very quaint but very tight conditions. So certainly we have now a library that's the right size, that can service the community now and for years to come, and will certainly be the focal point of downtown, and we'll see a lot more people coming downtown to the library. So thank you. Laura.
Thank you very much. We're so thrilled. Pam and Amanda are part of the Library Foundation, and again, we can go through the list of all of the people over the decades that made this happen, former trustees, the Board of Selectmen, and their leadership over the last decade on this. Without the Selectmen and Norman, this never would have happened. We were grassroots to begin with, but the town picked up on the need and the essential nature of this community resource and was really just fantastic for the last decade, and we thank you all, as well as Mike Damasio and Dan McIntyre, John Ferrari, members of the building committee, of staff, directors of the library, the friends of the library. Everybody has really worked as a team. It's really been a giant family. This is a fraction of us up here that have worked on this through the years. And just to speak to the heart of one thing that I really want to acknowledge is Hopkinton Public Library Foundation, as you know, is just about reached its goal of raising $1 million for the library on behalf of the community, and we have been honored and thrilled to be able to do that. It has been an enormous support. We've thrown about 20 parties, had about 20 events in the last 5 years, and built on the success each and every year. Had 1,000 homes for Hopkinton Library as well, and we couldn't have done it without this basically core group, our board of 9 people, including Scott, Pam, and Amanda, who have worked so diligently over the last 5 or 6 years to get this all together. So I would really like to acknowledge the Library Foundation and even our members that aren't here or are coming and aren't quite here yet, but we are honored and thrilled to have been able to support the community in doing this, which everyone has been so enthusiastic and supportive of. So thank you again.
Coming up next on HCAM News, we have the latest in Hillers sports. Eric Carty will update us on the town's water tank project, and Matt Clark will fill you in with the latest HCAM programming with our HCAM Insider. You're locked into HCAM News. Don't go anywhere.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Golden Pond Assisted Living, honoring resident choice, dignity, and independence. Our health and wellness focus keeps residents active. Golden Pond, state-of-the-art senior housing and healthcare services.
Hi, this is the Margie and Lisa Show, and we are here every week. We hope you join us Wednesday nights, 7 to 8 p.m. live. And this week, coming up, we're going to be talking about
Hashtag 2069 on the opiate crisis and how it affects families and the communities.
We're going to talk about Columbus Day versus Indigenous People Day. What are we celebrating anyway? And we're going to hear from Mike McNamara, who stayed at the Mandalay Hotel in Las Vegas the week of the shooting. Join us.
Are you involved with a group in the Hopkinton community? HCAM can help you get the word out. Get online and head over to hcam.tv/community groups to find out more. We will help get word out about what your organization has going on through a number of ways, including through our TV stations, social media pages, and YouTube page. We have a number of other ways we are working to get word out about our member community organizations, such as digital screen promotion, and we can even help your nonprofit organization produce a professional video. Find out more right now at hcam.tv/community groups.
Have you ever considered texting and driving? If so, you should know the consequences. If caught texting and driving for the first time, you could get an $100 fine plus your license taken away for 60 days. The consequences only get worse the more you get caught. Even if you don't get caught, there could be serious effects. You could get into a car accident and hurt yourself or someone else. Texting and driving is a very dangerous combination, so stop before this happens to you.
Welcome back to HCAM News. The Hillers fall sports season has had some great memories and features a large amount of teams in the playoff race. Here is the latest and greatest about this season of Hillers sports.
To the left, Ebert in the backfield. No, that's not Ebert in the backfield. And a quick throw to Iannelli. Touchdown. It's going to be a touchdown into the corner.
The Hillers sports fall season is nearing playoff time and has been a great one for the Hillers so far. Boys and girls cross country both stand at 4-0. The boys and girls team continue to dominate the TVL. Both teams defeated Medfield, Westwood, Norton, and Holliston so far this season. Hillers golf is also off to a fantastic start. The golf team stands at 7-3 and is 3 wins away from a playoff spot. Hillers girls field hockey has 8 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. This past week, they captured a 2-0 win over Ashland on Monday the 2nd, and also a 5-1 win over Medfield on Wednesday the 4th, before losing 2-1 to Medway on Friday, October 6th. Hopkinton Hillers football has clinched at least a piece of the TVL title. The team is currently 5-0 on the season and has a chance to capture the entire TVL title if they win their remaining regular season games versus Norton and Holliston. The Hillers are also currently in line for a number 1 seed in the postseason. Hillers girls volleyball is 11-2 on the season, and they have won 6 straight games, including a revenge win in Medfield by a 3-1 final. Hillers boys soccer is right in the playoff hunt. The team currently has 4 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties. Hillers girls soccer also very much in the playoff hunt and will more than likely grab a spot. The Hillers girls have 6 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties. To stay up to date with the latest in Hillers sports, stay locked in to our website, hcam.tv. Hillers field hockey took on Holliston at the Fruit Street Fields on Wednesday, October 11th. Less than 3 minutes in, Beth Kohler makes it 1-0 Hillers on a backhander. Just over a couple minutes later, Caroline Murphy strikes from in front to make it 2-0. And then about another 3.5 minutes later, Ava Clark adds the third and final goal of the first half for either team. 3-0 Hillers leading in the second half. More of a defensive effort by Holliston in the second half, but the Hillers did add one more. Elizabeth Gross knocks the ball in front of the net. Caroline Murphy finishes it off. The Hillers take the victory over Holliston 4-0 and officially clinch a playoff spot. Hillers field hockey stands at 9 wins, 2 losses, and a tie on the season. Meanwhile, right next door, Hillers boys varsity soccer was in action versus Westwood. Michael Pavakad drew up the penalty and then took advantage of the opportunity. Westwood evened things up a couple minutes later. But then just a few more short minutes later, Owen Delaney with a beauty. Hillers weren't done yet. In the last 3 to 4 minutes of the game, senior Jay Tomlinson added another one. The Hillers boys get the important 3-1 victory over Westwood and now stand at 5 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties on the season. The victory keeps the Hillers right in the playoff hunt. The Hillers boys are also on a 2-game winning streak. Don't forget to be on the lookout for Hillers football, volleyball, soccer, and more Hillers sports, airing right here on the HCAM channels. The installation of the new water tank is nearly complete on Hayden Rowe Street. Water and Sewer Manager Eric Hardy recently gave us an update about the project.
All right, so can you explain what's going on here with the water tank situation?
Sure, yeah. As part of our capital improvement plan, we've been doing some major upgrades over the past 10 years. We've done several new water mains in town, added a couple of new wells, and now we're replacing one of our old storage tanks. We took down the small 320,000 gallon 1922 storage tank that was right next to the large one over here, and we're putting up a new 1 million gallon storage tank. The great thing about this tank is the process is now glass fusion onto the steel, so that means there's no painting of the interior and exterior. That's one of the biggest maintenance items that you have with maintaining a water tank. So that will never have to be painted inside or out again. And with this type of structure also, as you can see, it's going up relatively quickly. They've only been doing that for about a little over a week now, and they are slated to have it all finished by next Friday. It'll all be complete. This type of tank also allows for future expansion if you wanted to. The way they build this is, as you can see, they have the top on it, and they just can slide rings under. They hydraulically lift it up, slide another ring on, and just work their way up that way. So that way it doesn't require any cranes or any of bigger equipment in order to do it. So it's a very quick process, very easy process for it, and then there's also room for expansion if ever need be in the future.
Wow. And what about taking the old tank down? How long did that take? Was that a long process?
It wasn't too long. I think it took them a little over a week. It was pretty interesting to watch that as well, again, because of the tight workspace. They basically had a guy with a torch just go down the bolt line, and he torched his way through it, almost like cutting down a tree. He would notch out the bottom and then just tip each piece so that it all collapsed inside, so they kept a very small footprint with the old one, and they were able to get it down relatively quickly and take that out. And something I guess I mentioned to you earlier, the really neat thing about this location here is this was the original basically water system. This is where it all started. There's two wells that were on site, or actually still on site here. The school uses them for irrigation, and the original tank that was here, built back in 1883, was the establishment of the water department, basically right in this area.
Wow. So when is the projected finish date for this project?
For everything to be all said and done and filled and ready to come online is going to be in November. After they have the structure completed on the outside, they need to make the tie-in to the existing water mains right in the lot over there, and then we'll need to fill the tank, which will take a little bit of time, and then disinfection to make sure that everything's all set before it's actually introduced into the drinking water system.
A whole lot of programming is coming up on the HCAM channels. Standing by to tell you all about it is HCAM's promotions coordinator, Matt Clark.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the HCAM Insider. I'm Matt Clark, and here's what's happening this week on HCAM. On Monday, October 16th at 6:30 p.m., the Hillers girls volleyball team takes on the Medway Mustangs, live on HCAM Ed. On Tuesday, October 17th at 6:30 p.m., elder law attorney Arthur Bergeron teaches seniors how to protect their homes on a new edition of the Elder Law series on a brand new HCAM TV special. On Wednesday, October 18th at 7 p.m., Margie and Lisa talk local and national happenings and invite you to join the conversation on a new episode of The Margie and Lisa Show, live on HCAM TV. On Thursday, October 19th at 6:30 p.m., Margie Wiggin talks with kids and community members about the importance of being independent and self-reliant on a new episode of Character Matters. And at 7 p.m., the Hopkinton School Committee meeting will air live on HCAM TV. And on Friday, October 20th at 6:30 p.m., the Hillers girls volleyball team takes on the Norton Lancers, live on HCAM Ed. If you want to know more about all of HCAM shows before they air, then head over to hcam.tv/connect, where you can sign up for our HCAM Insider newsletter. Or if you want to know more about what's happening in Hopkinton, you can sign up for our daily news updates. That's all for this week's Insider. I'm Matt Clark, and as always, thanks for watching. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Matt. That will just about do it for this edition of HCAM News. Don't forget, you can stay up to date with everything Hopkinton by checking out our website, hcam.tv, as well as our Twitter and Facebook page. Right now on our website, hcam.tv, you can view details about a couple local upcoming events and also the latest Hopkinton Hillers sports report. If you have a Hopkinton-related video, photo, or story idea, I want to hear from you. Email me at news@hcam.tv. With your help, we'll cover even more of our community. For everyone here at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. We leave you now with the current community listings and upcoming government meetings. As always, thanks for watching HCAM News. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. HCAM is supported by our viewers and by Blackstone Valley Wealth Management, providing highly personalized financial planning, wealth management, and customized solutions through transparent, unbiased advice. Visit us at blackstoneValleyWealth.com.